Hi there, Diecast fans. What we have here is a BMW M5 in 1:18 scale by Maisto. And by the look of it, it's not just an ordinary M5 BMW. As you can see, there are graphics there that says Safety Car, official car of MotoGP. Now, a safety car. Now, this is quite an unusual diecast model from Maisto. As far as I know, safety cars are being used, or just a vehicle, when they try to initialize a race before it begins, or if there's something wrong with the race event itself, the safety car will be in action and reorganize the race again in a safety manner. Ah yes, the 5 Series BMW, performance slash luxury. Now, BMW made the M5 for those people who find the stock E60 5 Series a bit slow. So BMW spiced it up with aggressive engine, a beefier suspension I think, and that iconic wheels exclusive for the M5s only. Now for BMW fans right there, yes, this is the iconic E60 model. I think this is the 4th generation design of the 5 Series, and it has that love it or hate it design. Yes, it's controversial, but it's iconic all over the world. When they see this car, automatically it's a BMW 5 Series that comes into their mind. And there you have a little bit of brief history on the 5 Series BMW. Now, let's take a dive on how Maisto designed this diecast model. Now, the front part, it's always going to be the front part, as always. So you can see there the iconic headlight of the E60 BMW 5 Series right there. It's a mixed bag of quality at the same time. Yes, it's detailed, but there are some I don't know what's happened here. There's a gap right there, and of course those pegs that is really obvious on the headlights right there. Now it's made out of two-piece parts right there, but it's an average detailing, not the best. And you can see the kidney grille there, the iconic kidney grille by BMW. Nicely done in an average approach. They also had this grill with the honeycomb pattern on it. No, you cannot see through it. It's just a texturized plastic, and there's no vent right there. It's just a plastic covering there. And the safety car, which is a sticker for the plate number, and the BMW logo, which is a tampo. And you can see the safety car on the hood with the MotoGP logo on it. And not to mention the sponsors right there. Now, since we're in the front part of the diecast, let's take a peek what's under the hood. So we lift the hood right there with the prying tool, or just your finger if you wanted to. And you could see just a plastic black slab right there, just to represent the V10 engine with an M5 badging on it. There's the airbox, there's the cover for the intake I think, and some plumbings and tubes and wirings, whatever. It's just a plastic slab. There's really nothing special. Just to say, you can lift the hood and you can see the engine. And I think this is a below average detailing. But then again, this is a budget model. Now, this is a premiere edition for Maisto, but it's kind of lacking for the paints on the engine detail. But it's there. Now, marching into the details of the front end tires of this diecast model. So you can see there the rims itself. It's well proportioned to the car, especially the tire profiles. I think they're correct if you're trying to compare it to the real thing. And those rims, yes, the finish is just average in my opinion, but it's well proportioned and well made at the same time. Of course, this is a budget model. And you can see there, there's a disc brakes on it. The rotors doesn't move along with the wheels, but there's a caliper there in black color, and there's no writing. And as you can see, there's a grill on it. Now if we try to zoom in, if we can see it, now there's supposed to be an M5 badge right there. It's hardly being seen because of the crookedness or the jagged lines of the plastic. Since this is way too small, I think Maisto is having a difficult time trying to imitate that. But for the plus points, the wheels really looks good. And you can see there the chip side markers painted in gray. Yes, a typical approach or detailing of Maisto at the same time. Now for the side profile of the diecast model. So you can see there, it's a tampon, not a sticker. The safety car graphics, official car of MotoGP. I think the MotoGP is for the world racing competition, the best of the motorbike racing internationally. So if we try to zoom in, let's try to examine the rear wheels itself as I adjust the zooming in of the camera itself. So you can see there the wheels, the same treatment as before comparing to the front. Nicely well made, an average paint detailing, but still they managed to put a BMW logo on the center of the alloy rims there, but this is made out of plastic anyways. And as we can see, the bumper is separate with the body. I don't know if this is made out of plastic or diecast itself, but it's quite having that realistic approach compared to the front, which is embedded, or let's say the part of the body itself. So going to the rear wheels, yes, it's still got the disc brakes right there, nicely detailed by Maisto. You can see there the tail light itself. Now if you look closely, there's a grid pattern, a small grid pattern on it, on the entire tail light on it, but still you can see the pegs right there. They still have to use these pegs and manage to put those tail lights properly and align with the body. Maybe they're not really relying on the adhesive itself. So you can see the MotoGP logo 2007, the quad tailpipes on either sides of the diecast itself, and of course the sponsors and the safety car plate number, and the the BMW logo, and the BMW M5 logo right there on the right part. So there's a safety car graphics, a tampo, of course, not a sticker, and also including in the rear glass of the diecast. Now let's try to open the trunk, and there's really nothing to see there, just an empty shallow. At least it's got a trunk. Hey, what's inside this diecast model? So let's open the door, and yes, they use the non-dogleg hinges right there. So you can see, let's start with the door cards itself. If we try to zoom in, there you go. Right there on the door cards, you can see those, I think the power window switches, which had a little paint details on them, and you can see the grab handle and the door latch and some part of the door cards itself, and not to mention a BMW M5 door seal right there. So you can see the blue part right there. This sticker is quite reflective on the lights. Now, as usual, this is a budget model. There's gonna be some black interior and black everything else. Now, there's a paint writings on the steering wheel itself, and the M badge below the horn button of the steering wheel, and the air vents, and the silver accent on the entire dashboard right there, and the gauge cluster, which is cheap, but still it has a, but at least it's there. There's a gauges right there. As you can see, the shift knob, and I think this is the iDrive system for the BMW into the center console, to the infotainment, and the pedals, just two of them. I think this is the sequential manual gearbox, I think. I might be wrong, just correct me in the comments if you wanted to. And the seats are black, and the center console, as you can see there, this combination, just as the combination of black and gray, or black and silver at the same time. Now let's take a peek on the right passenger side of this diecast model. We open the door right there, and you can see the center console there with lots of white paintings for the buttons itself, and the air conditioning louvers right there, and you can see the shift knob, and there's a screen right there. I hardly noticed that. That's the iDrive navigation GUI, maybe. That's a quite nice touch that Maisto included for a budget model. So you can see there the black seats as usual. They're more on the plastic texture inside, so there's really nothing special. You can see there the glove box and the the flooring for the carpeting itself. You see the camera having a hard time focusing on the black paint itself, or the black texture of the interior. So you could see there on the rear passenger there's an air conditioning louver for the climate control right there in the center console. So they included it. It's hardly being seen or hardly being observed, but still they included it. And the door cards, let's take a peek. Just a plain old door cards right there, texturized with some little paintings on them, but they still included the shiny door seal, the M5 door seal. Now, as you observe, we try to zoom out. This only has four doors. It has 4 doors, but only 2 doors can be opened. A typical approach for a budget model. You rarely see in a budget model with 4 opening doors, like I featured the Mercedes-Benz CLS. And I almost forgot the exclusive blinker, since this is a safety car. So you can see there's separate pieces there. There's a chrome part on the inside of the blinker, and then this white painted part, and of course the red transparent thing. It's quite nicely detailed for a budget model. And as you observe also, it's got a sunroof. Now you can remove the sunroof by prying this open if you want to dismantle the diecast. So try to experiment if you can open this safely. Maybe just do it gently so you won't break the parts of it. But it's possible, as I observed from the inside. But then again, like I said before, the blinkers are nicely detailed. Now let's take a short peek what's underneath the diecast. So we lift the diecast itself, and there's really nothing to see, just a black plastic slab right there. But at least it's going to greet you with a shiny chrome exhaust system right there. You can see that it's a rear-wheel drive car. Supposedly there's a transaxle there. It's there. It's just embossed on the plastic slab. And you can see, at least you can see there, the shiny chrome mufflers, quad mufflers right there. Very shiny and looks realistic at the same time. Now my verdict. Now for around $30 back in 2012, this is not a bad diecast itself. I think Maisto is not offering this kind of livery with the graphic safety car on it. You could still buy, I think, online the BMW M5 in straight color. The last one that I see was having that baby metallic blue in special edition releases of Maisto. Maybe you could still find one if you're into the 5 Series BMWs. Well, I highly recommend this if you're a collector of motorbikes, motorcycles. This is quite iconic, especially with that MotoGP logo on it. It's I think it's gonna be an interesting diecast alongside with the motorbikes that you're gonna display on it, because you rarely see a safety car. I think Kyosho also made a 1:18 scale safety car. I think that will be an Audi, as I remember. That was a long time ago. So again, for the detail and the packaging of Maisto, for the price that you pay, this is not a bad diecast model. Now, if you're a BMW fan, or a fan of MotoGP, or fan of the motorcycles diecast, or just a fan of both, this is not a bad diecast model. It's gonna be somehow gonna be a centerpiece at the same time, or just say just an ordinary diecast in your collection. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope this entertains you, at the same time helps you that the safety car MotoGP exists back then and Maisto made it. So thank you for watching.